What's up, y'all? It's your boy Rod, and welcome to the Ultimate Honkai Star Rail Gacha Guide. Now, if you're new to the game or looking to expand your roster with new characters and weapons, this guide is for you. In this video, we're going to cover the basics of the warp system, also known as the Gacha system, including how to access it, the different types of banners available, and the pity system. So without further ado, let's get into the video. How do you access the warp system? Now first, you just open your main menu, and from there you'll find the warp page. Pretty simple. And you'll see at least 4 active warp banners whenever you first start. There will be a beginner warp, a regular warp, a character event warp, and a light cone event warp. We'll go into detail about each of these banners later on. Now, how do you obtain a warp, or how do you purchase a warp? So to purchase a single regular or starter warp, you're going to need 1 star or pass. For a character or Lycon event warp, you're going to need 1 star or special pass. The difference is that the star or pass is for standard banner, and the star or special pass is for your promoted characters and weapons. Now, both passes can be bought in the in-game store using your in-game currency known as Stellar Jade. It's basically Primo Gems in Genshin terms. Now moving on, remember when I said at the start there's going to be 4 active warp banners that you're going to see whenever you start the game. Now, one of them is going to be called the Starter Warp or Beginner Warp. It basically guarantees you 1 5-star character permanent banner, and it helps you get it in 50 warps instead of the actual 90 pity. And it also has a discount of 20% on each 10 summons you do. So instead of 10, you actually do 8, and you have a discount of an overall 20%, meaning that instead of the whole 50 that you need to do, you only do 40. The only downside is that it can only be used for your first 50 warps, and then it disappears. If you're lucky, you could end up with a 5-star character before the 50, but the gacha rates are very low in this game, so that's very highly unlikely. But we'll talk about the gacha rates in a later segment of the video. Now, as for the standard warp, also known as stellar warp, it's a permanent banner that offers the standard 5-star items, whether it be weapon or character. In Honkai Star Rail's pity system, you're guaranteed to receive at least 1 5-star item for every 90 warps, and it's a 50% chance of getting a character, and you also have a 50% chance of getting a weapon. Same thing goes for 4-star items, you're guaranteed to get one at least every 10 warps. As for the rates, well, it's crazy. You're gonna be in for a shock. I hope you're sitting down, cause, oh man, listen to this. You have a 0.6% chance of pulling a 5-star item. A 0.6%. Oh my god! It's low for most gacha games, right? But this is super low. Like, who goes that low? A 0.6% chance. In general, most gacha games don't go that low. It's crazy for Honkai's game, but they decided 0.6. Why? I don't get it, but bro, imagine you want to snipe your favorite character, Bronya, Welt, Himiko, whatever it is, and you want that character, you want to play with them, you love playing. It's gonna take you so long to get that character. You're gonna spend ages rerolling. I wanted a Bronya or Welt account in like the first day or first 3 days, but from the looks of it, it's gonna take me a week, maybe even longer. Like, there's no way, dude, you can easily like reroll on this with like a 0.6% chance. It is so low. And the same thing goes for 4 stars. It's 5.1% chance of putting a 4-star item. Now keep in mind they're split into 2, because you have a 0.3% chance of pulling your 5-star character and a 0.3% chance of pulling your weapon. Same with 4 stars, but it's a 2.55% chance for weapon or character. Like, damn bro, it's gonna be so hard getting the character you want. I'm gonna spend ages. Anyways, we also have soft pity here, just like Genshin. From starting, I think 75, yeah, 75 in Genshin to 90, same thing here, and meaning that you get a higher chance of getting your 5-star. And if I remember correctly, in Genshin, on your standard banner, if you get 2 characters in a row, then you're guaranteed to get the next as a 5-star weapon, and if you get 2 weapons, you're guaranteed a character. Well, from the looks of it, up until now, there's no info on that in Honkai Star Rail, so it looks like you could just keep getting random character or weapon. There's no pity system for that. And one thing they finally added, I wish they also add this to Genshin too, they gave you a select summoner. You know how in Genshin Anniversary you always wanted a 5-star selector? Well, you have it here, but it's not as good as it sounds. Here, look, you have your standard banner, right? You need to do 300 pulls on your standard banner so that you can pick a permanent character. And to do those 300, think about Genshin, right? Let's say, I don't know if you guys have played Genshin, but for those of you who have, imagine you needing to summon 300 standard fates just so you can pick out your favorite character from standard banner. Do you know how long that's gonna take? That's gonna take a minimum of a year or two. Like, damn, bro, I'm not trying to wait that long. I want my favorite character now. I don't want to wait a year or two minimum. I mean, I get it if it was maybe 6 months or something, but even for free to play, it's gonna be harder. Listen, if you're playing the game and you get your Stellar Jade, which is basically Primo Gems, right? You're gonna spend them on your promotional characters and weapons. You're not gonna go for standard banner. Nobody does that. Well, you only go for standard banner off your shop, which we'll talk about later, and off whatever you get from quests, whatever rewards you get from quests or other items in game. I don't know. You get those and you use your standard ones there, but you don't actually spend your like in-game currency on it. Like, it's gonna take so long without doing that. I mean, I guess yeah, you do get a free 5-star, but after a year or two, and who knows whether you would have that character after a year or two or not, because you could just end up losing a 50-50 on a promotional character and getting them, which I guess would be good. But if you didn't, you would have to wait actually 2 years just to guarantee them. Now we'll move on to the character event warp. Now it features, of course, 1 promotional 5-star and 3 promotional 4-stars with an increased rate or drop rate, right? It's also known as a limited time banner because after the banner duration ends, you can no longer get that promotional 5-star until it has a rerun, right? So just like Genshin, the banners rotate each patch with different limited characters. So now for the official release of Honkai Star Rail, we're gonna have for patch 1.0 Zeely and another guy, I forgot his name, my bad. I'll pop a picture up though. Moving on, the pity needed to guarantee a 5-star is 90 warps. And if you pull a 5-star character, there's a 50% chance that will be the promotional character. If it's not, you'll get one of the permanent / standard banner characters and be guaranteed a promotional character when you pull a 5-star again. Just like Genshin. Very simple to understand, right? So you could just make use of this by saving your guarantee for the promotional character that you want. For example, let's say you lost your 50-50 on Zeely and you got Clara and you don't want Clara or whatever. So you might as well can save it for Kafka. You want Kafka? Yeah? And then you can just wait until Kafka's banner drops and you have a guaranteed Kafka basically. So, and then just a quick FYI, just like Genshin, you can test out characters before you pull for them. Just to make sure you enjoy the character's playstyle. But I'm guessing most of you don't really care about playstyle. You can be a meta player and you care about playstyle, and some of you could just, just like the characters because of their looks, and I don't blame you. I'm probably going to be getting a few characters just because of their looks. So now moving on, you have your Light Cone event warp, also known as weapon banner in Genshin. Alright, so here it features 1 promotional 5-star weapon, right? So it does not have 2, unlike Genshin, there's not 2, there's only 1, right? And it has increased drop rate for 4 stars too, and it only has 3 4-star weapons. And then, just like the Genshin, the PD on the banner is 80, and you have a 75% chance of getting the 5-star promotional, and 25% chance of losing it and getting a standard / permanent weapon, right? And then that guarantees that on your next pull, you'll actually be getting the 5-star promotional on the banner. You don't have to lose PD twice, unlike Genshin, we have the dumbass point system, fate point system, you need to lose 2 PDs, just to guarantee it. So stupid, bro. I'm so happy they made this change. It's way better. It's way better this way. It's actually amazing. And finally, the weapon banner is actually worth it to pull on because it also transfers through banners. So if you lost this, if you lost the 50, for example, on Zeely's weapon, right, and then you want, I don't know, Kafka's weapon, you have it guaranteed. That easy. And transfers, you have no problem. And you have a 25% chance to even have a higher chance than 50-50. It's great. Now moving on, we have the shops. Just like Genshin, we have the Star Glitter and Stardust shops. The Star Glitter shop in Honkai Star Rail has your Star Rail Special Pass and your Star Rail Pass, as well as a few characters that rotate in and out of the shop monthly, I'm guessing just like Genshin. But the one big difference is that you can buy a 5-star Light Cone. You can buy a 5-star weapon from the shop. It's for permanent characters, but that's still amazing, dude. You can buy one, but here's the only downside is, of course, there's a downside to everything. It requires 600 Star Glitter, which is going to take years to get it, especially for free-to-play players. They also did this with the standard banner. Don't know why they keep liking doing these big numbers, 300, 600, but it is what it is. At least after a while, you guarantee the best weapon for your character, I guess, from the standard banner. Now, to be honest, there are some pros and cons to the gacha system. I overall still like it. I feel like it's very free-to-play friendly. Just for the point being, with the weapon banner, you could easily, you can guarantee your character, you can guarantee your weapon, and it is 180 pity for both, but it's still less than most other games. And after all, I don't know, it's not that bad. I'm just mostly mad about the selector. being 300 and the shop being 600. But other than that, I think it's quite, I mean, it's not that good. It could be better, right? But like, this is the normal, you know, for gacha games. So I think that they're on the high podium now for gacha games. But there are some other gacha games which are like very generous, right? We know Hoyu is not one of them, so this is still pretty good for them. I don't know. I'll take it as a win though. As for now, let's wrap up our video. So that's a wrap to our Honkai Star guide. Finally, I'm so tired.
Shut your stupid.
We hope you found this video helpful and informative. To recap, the regular warp offers you a mix of characters and weapons with a guaranteed 5-star item every 90 warps, while the character and Lycon event warp feature promotional 5-star items with an event Lycon or event character, you already know. And then you're guaranteed to get a character every 90, and for a weapon you're guaranteed to get one every 80. And then don't forget about the pay system for 4 stars, which is 10 warps. And that's it. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching. I can finally go sleep.